Before we get into the modeling side of things, let's understand what the data looks like. As I mentioned, in recurrent networks, modeling and the model capacity is important to better understand what it takes to encapsulate the knowledge that comes from combining inputs with the corresponding history. It's also important to recognize what the data is and what the format would look like and how to feed it into the model. So let's take a closer look at the ATIS data. This data comes from human computer queries from air travel information services. There are 943 unique words. We will also refer to that as the vocabulary. So when I said show flight from Burbank to Seattle on a date, each of those words would be a word in this vocabulary. So there are 943 of those. And the corresponding labels such as the other, from city, to city, a date would be considered as labels. There are 26 intent tags in the data set. We will not be using that in this tutorial. We will just be using the first two as the input, and this is the corresponding labels or the output. Now let's take a look at what one of that sentence might look like. We always start with this tag called beginning of sentence, and then the real query, which is the please give me the flights from Boston to Pittsburgh on Thursday of next week, end of sentence. This token, beginning of sentence, is the 178th word in the vocabulary, and that is lit up, so we indicate it in this format. This is the format in which the data will be represented for the tutorials and the exercises that you're going to do. And this belongs to the 19th sequence. That means this sentence that you have is the 19th sentence from the ATIS dataset that I have used. And corresponding to that word, there's a label. You can see most of them are labeled as others, which means I don't really care about it. It is some other token. And in each case, we have the corresponding index similar to the word index where that token is present. So here Boston becomes beginning of a from location city name, and Pittsburgh becomes beginning of to location city name. Thursday is a departure date day name, and next week is a departure date relative time frame label. So you can have any labels that you would want to associate with these tags. So it's not necessary that you only have these. So for instance, if you wanted to say that I want to tag all prepositions, so you could have on as like preposition token per se. But in this case, we are interested in tagging text or words in a sentence that have connotation with air traffic travel information services, and these are the tokens that are provided in the data set. So again, the sequence 19th indicates this sentence is the 19th sentence in the data set. Word index, whatever number ###:1 indicates the position of the corresponding word in the vocabulary. There are a total of 943 words, and corresponding to those words, this number, which is ###:1, again indicates one of these numbers here, which would be the location or the index of that particular label in the labeled set of vocabulary, if you might say, and the corresponding tag in the tag index, which would be a total of 129 tags here.